What am I going for? Am I going for a single or a double? What do we got here?
You do you. What I normally do is I kind of do a raking 2-shot. I'll come into a single. I'll come.
So really, this is your camera that I'm holding.
No, this is
because I'm looking at you. So that's my camera.
Kind of. You could think of it as cross coverage. Yeah, this is director talk right here. I like this.
I want to know what my day rate is, though. I didn't expect to have to do any work today.
I'm really putting you to work. That's true.
On your left.
You're listening to Doc Walks with Ben and Keith.
So Keith couldn't be here this morning, and I am walking with my new friend Patrick Heaphy, who is here in town with the CHARLEY CROCKETT $10 Cowboy documentary.
Yep.
And I'm putting you to work, Patrick.
You are.
Do you like Patrick or Pat?
It doesn't matter. Usually it's Patrick when I'm in trouble.
What do your friends call you?
I would say Pat.
Okay. Can I call you Pat?
No, you got to use Patrick.
All right, we're
absolutely,
off to a great start.
absolutely. And I'm just checking framing. I'm not looking at this camera. I'm just. Okay, does that look good?
So in addition to being a guest that we're putting to work, Pat also hid his microphone very well.
Because I think yours is pretty tacky.
Mine is not hidden at all.
I got a good microphone story.
Oh, tell me.
So I started out as like an audio guy, really.
Okay.
And
where's this?
It was up in Lake Placid, New York.
Okay. Are you a New Yorker?
Yeah.
Is that where you were born?
Queens.
Okay.
And then Rockland, then Plattsburgh. That's where I started production. The Olympics changed, and I was able to be a part of the Olympics. Wow. So I was over at the '94 games, and Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, that whole thing was going on.
No way.
Yeah, so we had like a night off, me and the team, and we're going to a venue. I forget what it was, skating or something.
Okay.
And they're like, we got a call from CBS, or I forget who, CBS Newsnet or whatever it was. Nancy Kerrigan's willing to do an interview. You got to run over and get it.
Oh boy.
And we're like, holy crap, we don't have anything with us.
And how old are you at this time?
20, so 94, 25.
25, okay. So you're just kind of starting out.
Yeah.
All right.
And we had a camera, we had like a basic kit, no lights, no boom, just a lav and an old Betacam. Remember Betacams?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So we put on the mic and finished the interview, and I go to take off the microphone and she starts to play with it, and it's a vampire clip.
Oh boy.
And sure enough, she pricks her finger.
Oh no.
And it was like, ow! And I'm like, Jesus, now it's gonna be me and Tanya.
Oh no. So what happens?
What happened? Well, her manager is like, okay, so this is only going to the New York market, right? We're like, yeah. Oh, no, we're like, we don't know where it's gonna go. Because once it's up on the bird, any of the network, it's part of the whole CBS thing.
Right.
I don't care. You tell this bird guy, only New York.
This bird guy. So the bird is an industry term for basically when you would like upload something to the satellite that would distribute to all the CBS stations in this case, because it was for CBS.
Right on. It was fun.
That's hilarious, man. Wow. So you took your life in your hands by miking up Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before, I feel like I have to give a disclaimer. Lots of disclaimers this morning in this episode. I was up very late last night at Richard Linklater's Nouveau Vogue premiere and shouting at an after party, which is why I sound a little bit like Tom Waits. And then I went home and the World Series Game 3 went to the 18th inning. I tapped out after 16. It was like 1 in the morning and I had to go to bed. I'm a little ragged this morning and Keith couldn't be here, so this is a little bit of an unusual episode.
I'm not mad.
Ready to start off.
I'm not mad.
Okay, good.
Just a little disappointed.
Well, then you and my wife have a lot in common, it sounds like. But let's set up what you're doing here in town. I mentioned that you're here with a CHARLEY CROCKETT doc that's playing the Austin Film Festival, and I figured this would be a great walk for us to do because you are primarily a music doc guy, and I thought, why not walk up and down South Congress and we can look at historic landmarks like the Continental Club here right out in front. I assume you've been here plenty of times, right?
No.
Really?
You know what? I'm kind of like a Forrest Gump kind of guy. I don't know much, but I happen to step into a lot of stuff that happens.
Okay. Well, this is one of the premier venues, I would say probably in the United States. The Continental Club is where, I mean, CHARLEY CROCKETT's played here a million times. Most Austin musicians come through here, all the big ones you could possibly name, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Willie. And it is like walking into a piece of like living Austin history here.
It's cool. I wish
Yeah.
you would have told me about this earlier. The truth is, a lot of the stuff that I do,
Yeah.
I'm brought in. I don't know. I'm not, a music historian by any means. I don't really have any musical talent. I did try to play the drums when I was a kid, and I think that's why when I started as the sound guy, cameraman, then I went into editor, and that's where I really feel like editing was my real wheelhouse. So that's like my musical ability would be editing.
Wow. And am I right that you live in Nashville now, or
No, I work in Nashville a lot. So I'm going to Nashville tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But New York is home.
New York is home.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, so tell me how you got into this crazy business of making documentaries for a living.
Well, you know what? I don't know if I make documentaries for a living. I make documentaries and I happen to make money from it.
Okay.
When we talk about this business, people are like, well, young kids, I want to be a director, right? And I always tell them, like, how are your sports abilities? Because it's going to be easier for you to be a professional athlete than a working director only directing,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
Who do you like? It's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm a
There's
producer.
a lot of rejection. Absolutely.
So I'm a producer, director, cameraman, sound man. I own a company. I have employees.
What's the name of your company?
LCM 247.
Oh, what does that mean?
Do you bleep shit on this, or do you
No.
go?
No. You can say
I
whatever.
might
you
want you to bleep it. Last chance, motherfucker.
Oh.
No, it doesn't mean that.
Oh, I like that. And then 24/7. Wow,
it's a whole story.
That's
But
very New York. I like it. Punch you in the face.
I like, you know what? I'd rather what people think about it.
You want people to think about
Just
it.
think about it.
Yeah.
Because if you make people work a little bit, and if you pique curiosity, they're going to remember
Right.
a little bit better.
Right.
But if they don't think about it, they won't.
Man, I like that theory. That's cool. I keep them guessing. Keep them on their toes.
Yeah, and with documentaries, I did, the first documentary I did was actually my last project in college. And
Okay. And where was college?
Plattsburgh, SUNY Plattsburgh.
Okay.
I was supposed to be a firefighter. FDNY, like my dad, my brother, my cousin,
No way.
Yeah.
A family of firefighters.
firefighters, and a bunch of other stuff, 1 to 6.
Now I understand the sports analogy. Like if you come from kind of like a physical, tough family, you can see how, the filmmaking may not make sense to a lot of people in your family. Here, why
Yeah.
don't we go this way and we'll get off the main street here.
So it was about the FDNY CSU, Counseling Services Unit,
Okay.
about post-traumatic stress debriefing.
Oh, wow.
And so I like to tell stories.
We are doing a very serious podcast, ladies, all right? We're working.
We gotta flip it around.
We're
You are
working-
part of it now.
We're working really hard here.
Would you guys mind holding this camera? My arm's getting tired. So that was my first documentary, obviously close to my heart.
Yeah. It was about firefighters, you're saying?
Yeah, it was about the firefighters and the post-traumatic stress debriefing. So
I
what would
see.
happen is if you're a firefighter, like my brother and dad,
Yeah.
you run into a lot of situations where, the truth is, I think fear of death, when you're being a firefighter or a cop or any kind of first responder, it's always there, but I think it's more of a concern for the people who love you. It's seeing what they have to see,
Yeah.
people at the, worst moments and in horrible states.
Yeah.
So you don't know, oops, who the fuck is calling me? Oh shit,
Oh,
we're getting ready to pack up the truck.
Uh-oh.
Yo, what's up? Good. I'm just in the middle of a podcast on the street, but no, because you need to pack up the truck? All right, cool. Make sure there's a box coming in with some more media that you're gonna need to bring with you. All right, cool. All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Look at you, always working.
So we're shooting Jamie Johnson on Thursday, another country kind of artist, Americana artist, and then Peter Frampton the following week, celebrating 50 years of Frampton Comes Alive.
Wow.
Which, coincidentally, one of the songs was recorded at SUNY Plattsburgh, where I went to school. So,
Look at that. Full circle. That's so cool. Okay, so you make a doc about firefighters dealing with post-traumatic stress.
Yep.
You're in your mid-20s at this point?
No, that was college.
Oh, right. Okay. And so then you moved to the city?
Well, I
after
moved
that?
back home, got a job selling cars at Manhattan Jeep Eagle on 11th Street, or 11th Avenue. But while I was in college, I was making those wacky cable commercials, getting paid like $50 a pop.
How do you figure out that you can make commercials? Because for me, I'm probably not as sharp as you are, but it took me a while to even understand that that was a potential.
I needed to make money.
Yeah.
And so some guy was like, in one of my classes, like, I do commercials at this thing. Do you want to do some? And I'm like, yeah.
And what are we talking about? Like commercials for like a local plumbing business?
Yeah. You know, they're really corny, you know, cheesy ads.
Oh, I've made a few of those. Yeah.
But it was like on I think I started out in 3/4 inch.
Yep.
With the external deck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On the camera.
No. Like a suitcase.
Right. But like a tether to the camera.
Yeah, tethered to the camera, yeah.
Here, let's go this way. How you doing with your arm, by the way? How's the camera feel?
Good, it feels great. You're gonna give me a little massage after this, right?
Well, I gotta go right after this. Let's see. So I'm a huge Charley Crockett fan, and I want to figure out how you get from New York City, where you run a production company that sounds a lot like the one that I run here.
Cool.
Making commercials, making documentaries, getting hired to direct TV shows, kind of figuring it out as we go, saying yes to most things that come along. So then how do you become the music guy that is filming live concerts and making all these cool, let's go this way, Pat, making all these cool music docs?
Oh, this business is silly sometimes.
Wait, you said you can't even play the radio, right? So how do you become
I appreciate
the go-to music guy?
Well, you know, there's a lot of us in this business, right? So it just happens sometimes. And I didn't know I would like it, even though I've dealt with musicians from early on. So the one music guy I know, part of like the Jersey sound, was like, hey, my friend so-and-so, she needs to have this thing done. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll film it at this little place. And the place was a disaster. They were supposed to do the multi-track record, and it was a horrible job. They wouldn't let me put cameras anywhere. Like the lighting was terrible, and I was doing it for free.
And so you come in and save the day.
No. And then
no,
the guy was like,
saving it.
do you want to just give this to so-and-so? Because I know the mix is going to be, I was never going to do the mix.
Okay.
I know the mix is going to be rough, and that, you know, he also does video. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, you should pay him. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to pay him. I'm like, cool. Because it was, you know, I knew her through the kids' school.
How many kids do you have?
Two.
Awesome. What ages?
18 and 20.
Oh, look at you. Okay, I'm 5 and 2. So
Oh, sweet.
I'm in the thick of it, and it's so cute, and I'm exhausted.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Hey, look at this house right here, by the way. This is right before Halloween that we're recording this. And this is, I think, what my kids would call a spooky house.
It is cool. I want to switch arms. Can we switch arms?
Absolutely.
Can we go on the switch side?
Oh, look, we're going to switch sides. All right.
Unless you know that, like, that's your good side or something, or the other.
I normally am on the left side, Pat, so we're making huge exceptions for you today. I want you to know. You are our first guest to ask to switch sides.
Now I'm not going to be the last. Now that they know you're fluid like that.
Now that you've set this precedent, oh boy, all hell's breaking loose.
So Lance is like, comes back to me. He's like, Pat, I need help on this show we're doing. You're kind of know video better than me. And I'm going, huh. If he's judging my video capabilities from that, he's desperate.
Right.
And so then he and I started working together. He would do the audio record and mix, and then I took over the television side. And it just was a good fit. And we just did a show last week in the city at the Iridium with OAR. And yeah, that's how it started. And that's like a lot of the things. It's like, the opportunity presents itself. A lot of people, you hear they get an opportunity and they're like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
And they don't know where it's going to lead.
Right.
And this led me to be able to do shows at the Ryman. And, with some amazing acts like Little Feet and
cool.
Billy Strings.
Little Feet at the Ryman.
Yep. Billy Strings at the Ryman.
Dude, do they play Willin'? That's my favorite Little Feet song.
Oh, they played Willin'. They don't ever not play Willin'. I love them, man. They are amazing. Billy and the band are fantastic.
Oh, so cool. What do you think the similarities are between documentary filmmakers and musicians? Because I feel like there's a lot of them. They always answer their phones.
Yep. Well, we gotta. This is opportunity bringing. Hi, this is Pat. Hello. All right. Lost opportunity. No, right? It's true. Like when I get a call, like it sucks. Usually, like I wouldn't, but I know that in this situation, it's a little goofy thing, goofy moment that happens, and you never know who's on the other side of that call.
Absolutely. But isn't it usually just telemarketers?
Yeah, but my phone does usually say it's spam.
Okay.
But it was a 512 number.
Right. So here in Austin. So you're thinking this could be.
Well, I got a
the next
potential
big
project. Oh no, I got a good one, and I can't tell you about it, but it's really freaking good.
Oh, is it coming as a result of showing the Charley Crockett doc?
It's coming as a result of the opportunities of all the people I've been able to work with.
Well, so wait a minute. This is a good dovetail into my previous question about how do you think documentary filmmakers and musicians are similar? Or do you think that?
You know what? I do. Think that there's definitely similarities, but not necessarily with all songs. Like some songs, but I think when you have a song that a storyteller is revealing about their life and experiences and influences, and it's like an amalgam of all that, and it has the emotion and rhythm and feeling. And I think that's the biggest thing is emotion.
Interesting.
That's what I try to do in every project. Sometimes I do a better job than others. The capturing multi-camera music, I'm conveying what the artist is putting out, but I'm not really part of the story process. I'm just delivering the images and the sound.
Right.
And I'm cool with that.
And you're talking about like when you're hired to film a concert.
Yeah, whenever I'm doing any of my concerts. Yeah, like I said, Jamie Johnson will be a multicam. Peter will be a multicam. Like any of my shows, if you look at them online, there's dozens of them.
Yeah.
You'll see what they are. And then what I like to do is interview them. And some artists are more receptive to that than others. And then once you can get in there and kind of pull out the story and weave it together with their music, like we were able to do with Charley.
Yeah.
Charley, that one's a time capsule. That's just a moment.
I'm glad you brought us to talking about Charley. So how did the Charley, do you consider it a documentary or do you consider it a concert film?
I call it a docu-music film.
A docu-music film. What is the definition of a docu-music film to you?
That's Charley's $10 Cowboy.
Okay.
Or this thing I did with Dave Stewart or Craig Harris or...
So it's a live performance intercut with interviews.
Yeah.
And is there some B-roll? Like, do we go to his house or on the tour bus?
Not with Charley's. Yeah, you're on the tour bus a lot with Charley.
Okay.
It really, it depends. Some documentaries you make in a day.
Yeah.
Some can take you 30 years. I don't necessarily want the attention.
For you as a director, you're saying?
Yeah, but be telling the story. I like this because we're just shooting the shit. My arms doing this, I'm doing work for you.
You're not getting paid.
Not getting paid. Which is like a lot of my music projects too. So there's a lot of similarities.
Do you know where we're walking here, by the way? We're
no
going
idea.
somewhere very intentional.
I'm just checking my framing. All right, look at that.
Hey, look how handsome you look. Well, actually, I think I'm doing most of the work over here, but...
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna cut that part.
We're gonna have to have some. No, we delete. You can't. Oh, you know what? That's one thing with the Charley doc. Like I really let things go long. I let him go, but he is a very good communicator, and
he seems like a huge character.
He is. He's a
Here, I want you to look right in here.
Force to be reckoned with.
Do you see?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see where we are?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
why
very
we came
cool.
over here?
Very cool.
So what do you know about this place?
Nothing.
Really? This is Arlyn Studios. This is where Charlie is recorded. This was Willie's studio back in the day. This is now owned by Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel. This is like the Austin studio right
What do
now.
they say in like the political thing when you do an interview and it's a gotcha moment? I told you I'm not an academic about any of this stuff.
So this compound right here, everything that you see that is now like...
Was that apartment where Willie lived?
Willie used to own this whole sort of block right here, and it was like where the musicians would come and crash, and they were in these like little bungalows, and it was just a total like musician's paradise slash probably kind of a hellhole, honestly. But it was managed by Willie and his people.
Awesome.
And this is kind of like the epicenter of why so many people know about Austin and love and admire it.
That's awesome. You know what? I got a wacky story. So I've been lucky enough to do a lot of stuff with the Springsteen camp, the Springsteen archives.
Yeah, you made the Nebraska.
Well, I made the Nebraska Celebration Words and Music, which aired on PBS.
Cool.
Which was essentially the author kind of going through Deliver Me From Nowhere.
Oh, wow.
And that's
okay.
actually where the film really started to get the possibility of being produced.
Is it Warren Zanes? Is that the author's name?
Yeah.
We'll cut that part out.
That was at Americana Fest, and that was fucking awesome. You know,
Yeah.
nobody knew Noah Kahan really, right?
Okay.
So I'm interviewing all of these guys, just totally on the fly. I don't know if you saw it. I've got a version of it that's just my version.
No, I want to see it.
And Eric Church, Lucinda Williams, all of them. So we convert this suite into a video village.
Wow.
And we had no time. We'd like to do it. This is like all this stuff. And it's kind of like a stage, reading that we had to change over the acts in between the reading, with the bands, the Lumineers, all these guys.
Okay.
So I grabbed the Lumineers at one point. I'm like, come on down. And they're like, where are we going? And we're walking past all the people that are lined up. We're going next to the dumpster. We're going to do a little interview there. And then my line producer and kind of production manager or AD was like, Pat, doors are open, we gotta go. And I'm like, I gotta get Noah. Don't get Noah. I like to rub this in his nose, rub his nose in this all the time. He's like, nobody knows him. I'm like, my kids do. Dude, like that's the one they were interested in this whole show.
Right. You can't go home and disappoint your kids. Yeah.
No, my kids are on the pulse of all these new.
Of these new acts.
Yeah. And like few weeks, maybe a month later, he was on Saturday Night Live, and that's when all of us old buggers. And we were trying to do something with him when he was in Ireland, but he just blew up. And I joke we get him coming up and coming down, but
That's cool. Yeah, and I read in your bio that you have an Irish connection too, right? Like didn't you work on a project that was funded, got some Irish financing?
I have like a digital agency too. And so I did a joint venture with an Irish company. I'm a dual Irish-American citizen. You got to hedge. Who knows?
You're hustling. I love it.
You don't know. Every day could be the last day you produce something or direct something. Because the opportunities, you're as good as your last project. And while I'm lucky, things are going in the right direction. I realize that, at the end of the day, you gotta make sure that there's something out there. And that joint venture actually allowed me to focus more on television and film and let my new partners deal with all the digital side.
Cool. Okay.
So it's like growth, but allowing me to actually contract my focus.
I feel like the name of this episode should be Opportunity Calls with Pat Heaphy. What do you think?
I kind of get it. You're leaning into the phone.
Your phone's blowing up. You're saying yes. You got multiple lines in the water. You're hustling. I love it.
What would I do? I'm lucky. I've got good folks that
Let's
work
go
with
this way.
me, and I try to give them, the room to do what they do.
Yeah.
Like my editor, Lennon Nersessian, he is somebody who's in the background that nobody knows, but man, I couldn't do it without him.
Filmmaking is a team sport. Like that's arguably the most important thing is like getting the right people around you to help you realize your vision, you know, and make projects happen with you.
Yeah. You also got to make them happen. Sometimes that means doing it all on your own in the beginning, like shooting it. Like
Right.
there's a lot of stuff I've just shot
Right.
on my own. Somebody doesn't see it, what I'm going for, and it's like, okay.
Well, here, let me show you a proof of concept. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like, I'll tell you about Lennon's. I mentioned this, some docs you make in a day. So my 9/11 doc, I shot it on 9/11 as I walked from my office on 5th Avenue down to Ground Zero.
Wow. Here, let's stop here for a second. This is a nice little backdrop here.
And,
Okay, so yeah, I read about this. You were in New York on 9/11.
yeah.
9/11 happens, and then what do you do?
I was curious. I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the camera, an old PD 150,
Yep.
and just started asking people on the side of the road what was happening, listening in on car radios. Like, we didn't know. And it's on Amazon. If you want to like feel like we're on the ground
Yeah.
on 9/11, Witness to 9/11 is something that will let you see what happened in the shadows of Ground Zero.
Wow. And that's what it's called, Witness to 9/11.
Yeah, in the shadows of Ground Zero, because I like to have long like titles for everything. But Lennon, he I threw the stuff on his desk like maybe 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want to do something with this, but what do we do? I thought we would have to reshoot it. He just took everything, strung it out. And he's like, Pat, there's a story there. It unfolds as a total organic narrative.
Incredible.
The only thing that was really, created was the little intro titles
Yeah.
and the end credits. Everything else is
Wow.
just laid out. And it's something that I think, when you look at your work,
Yeah.
of what you'll, maybe like not legacy, but the things that will stand out, that will be something
Yeah.
that will stand the test of time.
That's amazing. That's super cool. Well, we are surrounded by very noisy things here. Let's walk up these stairs and then we'll find a spot and then we'll do a lightning round here to finish off.
Told
the
you,
walk.
I'm not an academic. I don't know that's.
Well, I'm not going to
fancy
ask you
stuff.
actually about
And I can't even hit my
lightning.
hand.
Wait, what did you say to me when you walked up? When we very first met?
You want me to give that to you?
Yeah, I do want you to give that to me because nobody has ever said that to me before.
There's something about this guy's eyeballs that remind me of Will Ferrell. No, don't be working them. I think you can see it. If you're a little bit closer, maybe.
Yeah, you should get closer.
Yeah, no, right? Don't you see it? I tell you can see it. I'm telling you.
I
It's
have
good.
never had anybody say that to me before, and I am going to tell everybody from now on.
What's that problem with you don't remember faces?
What is that? Like
Face-
face aphasia or
Yes,
something like
I
that?
might have that too. So.
Okay, so you're legally blind, so that's why you think. Yeah, okay, I got it. So let's do a lightning round here,
Okay,
Pat.
what does that mean?
That means I'm going to ask you a series of questions. But before we do this, I realize I don't feel like I know the answer to how the CHARLEY CROCKETT doc came about. So tell me that
So-
first, please.
They were talking about doing this release
Yeah.
tour, and they wanted to do a multi-track recording
Okay.
and social media content. And do I have stuff dripping?
No, but you've got a really beautiful and key
I
light
feel
right
it.
here.
I
Do you feel
it.
that?
Oh,
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
nice.
it's going away. All right, I gotta be fast. So we shot all that, and we did the multi-track record. Kind of, Charlie's on to the next thing. He was on to his next album so quickly, and we put it into the edit room. We got all the shows cut. We had some of the interviews, and I'm like, Lennon, what can we do? He's like, why don't let's string it all together with the interviews
Yeah.
and complement the songs that kind of tell his story,
Right.
along with him telling the story.
Because he's such a great character. Yeah.
Yeah, he is, and I love his sound, and so.
But did he come to you or how?
Yeah, they came to us for the multi-track record,
Okay.
and the social media content.
Because they had seen something else that you
Yeah,
made?
because I'd worked with a lot of people in the same circles. We've been doing this stuff. We got a lot of the credits under the belt. I'm part of the organization that filmed the CHARLEY CROCKETT at the Ryman.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then we put it together, and I'm like, Charlie, what do you think of this? And probably some kind of hey Haas, whatever.
Is that what he calls you?
Oh yeah. And I had to like look that up. I don't know. Is he mad? Is he? So
You're such a New Yorker. I love it. That's a term of endearment down here. Somebody calls you Haas, that means like you're sturdy. You're like a sidekick. You know.
I think he stopped calling me Haas.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble.
So I got him down to watch it. I'm like, dude, we came down to Austin and screened it with him and Taylor. And I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, cool, we like it. And I'm like, anything? He's like, no, it's good. It's good. They were happy, but he ran out the door and we're texting back and forth, trying to figure out what was happening. And then Austin calls, hey, we want to include you in the festival. I'm like, Charlie, come on, are you ready to go to the festival? And he's like, I can't. I'm out recording with Shooter.
I have a good Shooter Jennings story. I met him in LA. I ran a show with Jimmy Kimmel, and it was about this dispensary. The dispensary guys hired Shooter, so we're at this like private party together. And I was asking him, who's the most like your dad right now that you've worked with? And without hesitation, he was like, Charlie. Charlie's the real deal. And he was talking about how he comes in and he'll have like most of the sketch of the song finished, which is amazing in and of itself.
Sure.
And then he will watch him basically like orchestrate the whole band in kind of real time. And he was like, that feels like the closest thing to like what Willie and my dad and like the way they did albums in the 70s and 80s, you know.
I would have to stalk Charlie at different places to keep up with him. And
I know he's just a road warrior, right?
And you know what? He's been pretty good. So when I get to, like, you might not be in communication, but when I've texted him, like when I'm nearby, he'll be like, yeah, come on up. So we get over to Outlaw, we do that. Then we go to Farm Aid up in Saratoga, not too far from, New York. And I see this guy with his belt as he's walking ahead of us, and it says Wayland. And I'm like, man, that is a cool belt. And turns around, and he's like, oh, thanks, man. I'm like, Shooter. And so it was pretty cool. That was cool just to be hanging out with those folks. But,
oh, that's awesome.
And you can just tell, I think Charlie puts that out there almost every day, how much he enjoys working with Shooter.
That's cool, man. Okay, well, let's do the lightning round here. All right. So we hope that this podcast is basically for like young directors or people interested in documentary, like starting out. So what would your advice be to somebody who's interested in documentary, maybe starting their first project, wanting to do what we do?
Is there anything else that you do better? Yeah. And have you thought about being in the fire department? Civil service, job security, is that important to you?
This sounds like maybe the talk that your dad gave you, potentially.
You know what? It's true. It's you got to have passion for storytelling, period.
Yeah.
Above money.
Yeah.
And if you can deal with that, what kind of lifestyle you're going to need, and then we don't talk to kids about that.
Right.
Maybe if you came from a family that, I came from a family of 1 of 6. I shared a bedroom with 2 other brothers. There's 3 of us in 1 bedroom. So, going up wasn't as hard for me, or maintaining that same lifestyle. I think that's one of the biggest things I would say is that, are you willing to put in the work, eat ramen, and and it could take a long time. Like, I've been doing this for, what is it?
Leaf blowers.
At the
bane of our existence.
I've been doing this for 30, I'm trying to do the math. 89, I think, was my first professional gig. So 11, so it's like 36 years.
That'd be 36 years.
And
wow.
And I was very lucky.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. But the first time I was able to kind of have, a documentary at a film festival was probably 10 years ago. So that's 26 years of doing this stuff before maybe any of your work is not necessarily appreciated. We could say appreciated, but that maybe your story connected.
Right.
And you're still trying to find your own voice. So what is your voice? And we do have voices as documentary filmmakers.
Absolutely. It's we're not journalists. It's not like an objective truth. It's your version of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I try to keep always the truth. in it, you know, or at least the truth as I see it.
Well, as you see it, exactly. Yeah, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So then what was the film, like the gateway drug for you? What was the one that you saw that you were like, this is it. I want to make films. I want to be in this business.
There wasn't a film, it was a camera. I was a visual storyteller. My sister just took a photography class in high school, a Contax K1000.
Yeah.
And whenever I can put my hands on that as a kid, maybe 10 years old, I wanted to take pictures. I wanted to tell story through imagery.
Cool.
And then this was just a natural evolution of that.
Awesome. Okay. That's the first answer like that we've gotten. That's cool. I like that. Okay, dream collaborator. If you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be?
In what form? Like,
I guess in filmmaking. Like if you could make a documentary about anybody, or if you could
make a documentary about...
or work with your favorite director on something, like who would that be?
See, I don't have any aspirations for that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because you know what? That has to happen organically. You know, you can't, like, I don't even put that thought in my brain. I think that every relationship I've had with anybody in the craft side of it has happened organically. They're friends of mine.
Right. Let me just reflect that answer back, because I really like that. Like if I hear you right, I feel like you're saying you're not thinking about collaborating with anybody different, because then that just leads to unfulfilled expectations or disappointment, and you love your team that you've built already. So.
Yeah, and I'm willing, like we build out the team all the time.
Yeah.
When we did the Charlie show down here, I reached out to my friend Phil Nobert, who I went to college with, and I knew he was down in Vegas but traveled around. I'm like, Phil, I'm doing this thing down in Texas. Who do you know? You know, how do I? He's like, oh, I got this great team, Clint from Pro 4, and I was like, cool. I met Clint and the whole team from Pro 4, and they're now collaborators. I had them on another shoot that we did in Dallas earlier this year. So I'm just open to the universe, man. And when people are cool, they come into it, and they kind of have the same, I think, work ethic and love for the work.
I love
you know,
that.
it has to be, they got to be wanting to be a part of the storytelling process.
Okay, last one. What is the thing that you can't stop thinking about right now?
AI.
Say more about that. Why?
Why? It's another tool.
Yeah.
We're storytellers, right? Every new tool. I was the first Avid outside New York City back in 1993 or 94.
So you've been an early adopter of technology.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was hard to get people on to Avid.
Right.
From linear, from AB roll Betacam system.
So you see AI not as like an existential threat, but more of like a way that we can just help tell new stories.
Like any freaking tool.
Yeah.
This is, I think, probably the most quickly adopted technology in the history of the world, I would say.
Right.
You know, my mom is using chat.
Really?
You know, yeah. So when we're looking at storytelling, now it doesn't have to be the final thing on the screen or wherever, but I think allowing you and I to workshop ideas, it's, I think, efficient. I think it's a democratization of tools, and there's so many storytellers out there that can't even get this camera.
Right.
You know, and why should they be hobbled?
Right.
So
it's a great point.
And if you're threatened by it, if you think it's going to take your job, then figure out what your next job is.
Right.
So it's an interesting world, but we also have to keep in check. I think, you know, it's like the mob. You know, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
That's a great way to end it on. Awesome. Pat, thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, my man. And
yeah, how's your arm?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the massage. Don't tell me we got to run.
Cut.
Okay, that was Pat Heaphy, and talking about his film about Charley Crockett, $10 Cowboy, that was playing at the Austin Film Festival. That was a blast, walking around South Congress with Pat, going by the Continental, going by Arlyn Studios, learning all about Charley Crockett, all about Pat's career. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And next week we have Scott Ballou, who is a jack of all trades, a Renaissance man. He is a documentary filmmaker. He is a musician. He was the head of content at Yeti. He's now the chief creative officer at Tecovas. He also plays on our Sandlot baseball team and frustratingly hits a home run almost every time he plays. So I think you guys are going to love learning about Scotty B, and I hope you stay tuned for that one. Thanks for listening. And if Keith were here, he would say, do, 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 do. Keith, that one's for you.
Dockwalks is produced, directed, and edited by this guy, Ben Steinbauer.
Hello, and my friend Keith Maitland of Go Valley, and we have help from...
Well, we couldn't do it without Dayton Thompson, our co-producer.
That's right.
And we also have people behind us at the Bear and over at Go Valley backing us up and making sure that we get to bring these episodes to you every week. We'll catch you on the trail.
Next time on Dockwalks. Follow us at Dockwalks Pod on Instagram, X, and YouTube.